Luxury home sales are on the rise in Canada. While most people can only dream of owning a multi-million-dollar house, a new study by RE/MAX shows an increase in this kind of home buying activity in more than 80% of the Canadian markets examined. We're joined now by Michael Polzler. He's the Executive Vice President of RE/MAX Ontario Atlantic Canada.
Morning.
Wow, that's surprising given the kind of economic conditions we've had over the past couple of years. What are the markets that you're seeing this in?
Well, there's been significant gains in the central part of the country, which has been very interesting. Places like Saskatoon and Regina have done very well. Now, the price point, of course, there is a lot less, but they've had very good success in business and in agriculture, and people are doing very well.
In those markets, what's fueling it?
What is fueling it? Really just success in business across the country. I know that sometimes we don't feel it's as good as we'd like it to be in Canada, but the fact is there's a lot of people who see Canada as a safe haven. So we have, yes, our traditional successful business people, but a lot of people coming in from the outside who are already successful, have money to spend, and that, of course, creates competition and demand.
So let's talk about some of Canada's most expensive properties sold, I guess, in the first quarter of this year.
Well, there's been sales in the Toronto area in the $20 million range, also in Vancouver, many in the 10 to 15 million range. I mean, really, that's into the super luxury market. It's pretty thin air in that zone, but there's definitely a market for it.
When we're talking about luxury homes and the type of client that would be buying that, would they too be affected by interest rates? And I guess what I'm getting at is because they're still low, is that also feeding into it?
It really depends. I think there's different levels of luxury properties. You know, if you're just sort of in, for example, in the Greater Toronto area, the entry level would be in the $1.5 million range, which sounds funny that that's the entry level. There you would see people still affected by interest rates and whatnot, but most people who are buying in that range and up are established business people with good predictable jobs and good predictable incomes. So, you know what, it's looking very, very solid right now.
Let's take a look at some of the ones that might be on the market now, the kinds of things that makes a luxury home luxury other than the price tag.
Well, finishing, there's no question. When you go into some of these properties, I mean, they have walk-in closets as big as a condo in Toronto. I mean, they really do. You know, it goes beyond just marble, fine wood carpentry. All of those things really make a big difference. In the condo sector, view is very important, knowing that another building won't go up in front of you, close to great areas.
And waterworks too, to some degree?
Yeah, you know what, water for sure. I mean, if you're, you know, in Vancouver or Montreal or Toronto, I mean, having those great views, the trick is to make sure that they don't put another building up in front of you.
Blocking the view, for sure.
Exactly, but you know, when you get into those higher price tags, you know that you're in the right place.
You've seen the activity prior to doing the study, so you had an inkling that these kinds of things are coming on the market. What, if anything, surprised you about the results of this study?
We didn't expect it to be up as much as it is. I mean, when you're talking, heading towards double of where we were last year at this time is very impressive. I think that people have just a lot of confidence in Canada, and again, when you bring in people from the outside and you're competing with the people who are already successful. There's a lot of people looking to make Canada a new home. You look around the world, a lot of instability, and people see Canada as a safe haven. And this sounds funny, but it's true. We are a great value. You compare our high-end prices to somewhere like London, England, Paris, around Europe, or in Hong Kong. We're a bargain.
Well, I certainly like looking at those bargain
homes.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks so much, Michael, for coming in.
Great to be here. Thank you.
Now some prize-winning plants.
All right. Thank you, Bev. We're here.